How do you actually run this? One sheet of paper, about 20 minutes. 1. List what you expected. And do this before you look at anything. This is a map freeze applied to your own analysis. Write down what you assumed. What you assumed would keep showing up in your field. The people, the themes, the images, the card you were sure would be significant. Do it now from memory, before you open the log. Because if you list your expectations after looking, you will list the things you found and the whole exercise collapses. 2. Now go through all 23 maps, and for each item on your list, mark 2 things. Did it appear in the neutral phase? Did it appear under question? 3. Sort into the 4 cells and be prepared for most items to be boring, present in both or absent in both without your ever having asked about them. That is normal. You're hunting for the 2 live cells. 4. Flag the absent items where you did ask. These are your findings. Write them plainly. And notice how strange it is to write a finding that is made of nothing. I asked about my work 3 times. Nothing ever appeared in the field about it. Not once, under neutral conditions or under direct questions. That is a real entry. It may be the most important entry in your notebook, and it took 24 days to become possible. 5. Flag the present absent items. These are the ones where your question may be steering. Note which question and note what left when you started asking it. That pairing, this question and this thing that stopped appearing, is one of the strangest and most interesting objects spatial sight practice can produce, and almost nobody in this field has ever had the baseline required to notice one. Now the discipline, because an absence is exactly as easy to overread as a presence, and it is more dangerous because it feels more profound. It is not a verdict. Nothing appeared about the job across 10 sessions. Therefore, this job is finished. No, absolutely not. An absence of signal in your field is not evidence of absence in your life. Those are 2 different domains, and the method has never claimed a bridge between them. What you have found is a fact about your practice that under these conditions in this record, this thing did not surface. Why it did not surface, that is a further question, and the honest answer is that you do not know. Perhaps the thing is not live for you. Perhaps your instrument does not register it. Perhaps you have a blind spot precisely there, which would be the most interesting possibility of all, and the one you should consider first, because it is the one that implicates you. And it is not a license. An absence is not permission to act or to stop acting. It does not tell you to leave the job or stay or make any decisions at all. Remember day 23's boundary. This is not a substitute for medical, psychological, legal, financial, or safety-related advice, and it should never be used to override professional judgment or direct evidence. That clause does not soften just because the finding is elegant. An elegant finding is more dangerous than a crude one because it is more persuasive. And you have just learned to produce very elegant findings out of nothing at all. Handle them with the same suspicion you would give to a card that told you exactly what you wanted to hear, because that is what they are. They simply arrived by a subtler route. Your drill. 1. Question in step 0. Session as normal. Full trunk, map frozen, disconfirmation written. The practicum does not pause for the analysis. 2. And then, before you open the log, write down what you expected to have been recurring. From memory. Sealed. In effect, the same discipline as the map freeze, applied to your own expectations so that they cannot be quietly revised by what you find. 3. Then open it. All 23 maps. For each item on your list, mark it in both registers. Neutral, did it appear? Questioned, did it appear? 4. Sort into the 4 cells. Flag the absent items you actually asked about. Flag the present absent items where your question may have driven something out. 5. And then, because you are a practitioner of this method and not a collector of interesting observations, for each flag, write what would prove it wrong. For an absent. If I ask about this directly for 3 more sessions and it still does not appear, the finding holds. If it appears once, the finding is dead. That is testable. It has a number and a window, and you have 6 sessions left, which is exactly enough to run it. For a present absent, if I stop asking about X and the thing returns, then my question was steering. If it stays gone, something else has changed. Also testable, also runnable this week. 6 days left. Use them to test something rather than to accumulate more of it. You have enough material. What you do not yet have is enough checking. That is day 24. The void is the most significant data the practicum produces, and today is the first day you have been able to read it properly, because today is the first time you have had 2 registers to read it across. Consistency in the void is not absent every day. It is absent under the conditions where it had every reason to appear. An absence that survives a direct question is worth more than 100 quiet ones. And the strongest finding you will ever make in this practice is made of nothing at all. A thing that did not come when you wanted nothing, did not come when you asked, and would not come even when everything in you was pulling for it. That is an absence obtained under adversarial conditions. It's very hard to explain it away, and it costs you 24 days to become capable of producing one. But hold the other cell with equal seriousness. The thing that only appeared once you called for it, that is not the field answering. That is the most likely thing in the world, and it is the cell where the wallpaper face has been waiting for you all along, wearing the face of the person you care about. The strongest feeling cell is the weakest evidenced one. Test it. Stop asking for 3 sessions, and see whether it stays. And whatever you find, remember that an absence is not a verdict and it is not a license. It is a fact about your field, and it does not reach into your life and tell you what to do. An elegant finding is more dangerous than a crude one precisely because it persuades. You're not asked to believe, you're asked to record, including, and now especially, the things that never arrived at all. 6 days left. I will see you on day 25.